Everyone can be giving feedback, from the top to the newest. And at any particular time as well, it can be asked for. Now, this does need to be set up as part of the culture, as an expectation. That's where permission is then given. But we need to build our skills into how to do it well at the same time.
Please welcome to the stage to commence this one, please welcome Jessica Kiely.
Thank you, Craig. What the duo. And I think our theme that's coming through is about fire, looking after each other's fire and sparking them up, which was quite relevant when we think about nurturing rising talent and taking that fire in someone and helping to nurture it and bloom and become more. Now, it's very easy in this rapid pace world that we're in at the moment to think that we need the most high-tech, digital, scalable solutions for some of these things, when actually coming back to some fundamentals can be the best way. And one of the fundamentals that we know about talent, rising talent, those who are high potential, they've got that hunger as well, is that they value growth. Probably why you are all here as well. They value growth. So when we're looking at reimagining a culture and nurturing that talent, how can we provide ways of getting them to and helping them to grow? And I know there's probably lots of ways that organisations are doing it these days. And a key framework for growth that is part of all of our programs at Speakers Institute Corporate is actually feedback.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental thing, but when done really well, it can be potent.
Yes.
Now, we're not talking about feedback just at the 6-month and the 12-month reviews. And we're not just talking about feedback when we first come on board, as Craig talked about. It's how can we do feedback really well? There's 3 key elements that Demian and I would like to take you through. Having a tight feedback loop, doing a 1-minute debrief, and all in, no exceptions. So let's look at the first one of these, which is a tight feedback loop. This is the idea of giving feedback as close to the time that it will be useful. If we only do 6 and 12 months, it's finished, it's gone, we've scrolled past. There's actual research to show that the gap between when an expectation is unmet or even an achievement is given and then actual feedback is given has a big determinant in the success of that particular person, role, job, team, etc. So the sooner that you can do and give that feedback, the more impact it will have. So we do this in our breakout rooms where when people are practicing a skill, they are literally getting feedback straight away. Not at the end of the program, it's straight away. We also do it through actual live coaching in the middle of it. Now, athletes are really good at this. Navy SEALs are really good at this in the actual moment where a change can happen and be learned from. And we do immediate debriefs as a team after every program as well.
So I want you to imagine you're sitting there with your team, you're facing them and you're introducing them to the idea of the tight feedback loop where they can elect to have regular, even daily feedback on any aspect of their work. Now, the good news is they know you. They know you are not a micromanager, right? They're not expecting you to be asking them every 5 minutes what they're doing or maybe unsubtly suggesting to them what they should be doing. Rather, they know it's opt-in. They know they can elect any aspect of their work, their technical performance, how they interact in a team, how they're working with clients, presentation, whatever. They can even decide who gives them feedback. And so you ask them, what would you like even daily feedback on? And I want you to think, what do you anticipate they would say? For about 45 seconds, I want you to think, for 10 seconds think about it, and then have a conversation on your group. Just compare what you anticipate your team would ask for daily feedback on, and go. My guess, my friends, is that having that conversation at first might be a little bit surprising because, let's face it, daily feedback is not normal. True or not? Like it's not normal. This would surprise a lot of people. And so the next question, which we've got to wonder is, how do you normalize regular feedback?
And we normalize regular feedback by making it easy. Sometimes when someone will say, "Can I give you some feedback?" What's our initial reaction? No, that's right. I've got a meeting, back to back. Sorry, can't. Okay? So it's kind of got a bit of a bad name. But if we normalize it by making it easy, and that's why we call it the 1 minute debrief, the 1 minute feedback, it becomes succinct and short, and we give structure to it. It's more likely to happen. It's more likely to become part of the culture as a growth initiative. So some ways that you can do that is within a 1 minute debrief, a 1 minute feedback, one gem, one opportunity. That's all. Often we've heard about the feedback sandwich, positive, negative, positive. There's a lot of researchers saying it's not necessarily the best way. One gem, one opportunity. And it should be quite clear from there a good action to be taking. Yeah. That's great for an individual. What about as a group, as a team? In terms of a meeting or something like that. A very simple structure is what worked well and even better if. That could be a quick round the table, 1 minute each, or not even that, or individuals are picked to give that particular feedback. That constant evaluation.
So I want you to now imagine this actually happening. This one, there's not going to be any conversations. This one is for the introverts, right? I want you to imagine being in a meeting and then saying, okay, that was the meeting, time for a 1 minute feedback, right? Just the one minute debrief. So you might pick 3 people. So you like volunteers, we need 3 people to do one, what worked well, one even better if. And the rule is, by the way, you've got to do both. There's no one who's just allowed to do the fluffy or just I'm going to be playing devil's advocate. In order to play, you need to do one of each. How would that work? I want you to just, for a moment, in your own quiet time, imagine this working at a meeting. And in fact, it's the normal way you finish a meeting. One gem, one opportunity. Of course, there's always going to be some people in your culture, no matter how positive your culture is, where they might be a little bit slow to come on board.
And that's why it's important also to have this idea of all in, no exceptions. Now, this really works because it means everyone can be giving feedback from the top to the newest. And at any particular time as well, it can be asked for. Now, this does need to be set up as part of the culture, as an expectation. That's where permission is then given. But we need to build our skills into how to do it well at the same time. So all in, no exceptions is this idea of it could be with anyone in the team, any of the time or all of the time. So that it's comfortable for someone who's junior to be giving a gem and an opportunity or a what worked well and even better if to the executive level and vice versa. That's how we get to see different experiences and perspectives at the same time.
Very good.
So now you have a challenge. I want you to imagine someone walks into your office and perhaps they've been in your organization for a little while, but they're one of these people and every one of you can imagine exactly what this person looks like. There's that person who says, look, I'm on board with this, but it sounds good in theory, but we've tried this before, but how do you handle that person? What are the strategies? What do you do? Now, this one, you need a conversation. I wouldn't mind people swapping ideas in 30 seconds. How are you going to handle this person? 3, 2, 1, go. This is how we as Speakers Institute Corporate nurture rising talent. Even among you would have already worked out this is not about tweaking.
Very good.
This is not about, certainly as a side benefit, helps performance. But what it creates is a culture where people feel seen and cared for. One of the first lessons I learned as a young parent was that a child does well. A child thrives when there is at least one parent who takes a daily interest in what they're doing. What did you do at school? Who did you play with? What did you learn? That is the effect. Where your people feel seen and heard. And so no longer do they say, what's the point? Nobody notices anyway. This is our formula for nurturing rising talent and reimagining culture. And so on behalf of Jessica and me, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.